during this session of Parliament. May all that be done be for your great honor and glory. So gracious God, what we know not, teach us. What we have not, give us. What we are not, make us. Through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. Let's say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
This House is in session.
Announcements by Your Honor, the Speaker.
I wish to announce the absence of Senator Christopher Maynard and Her Honor, the Deputy President of the Senate, Elizabeth Thompson. And also that Honorable Member St. George South, the Honorable Dwight Sutherland, will be coming in on Zoom.
Election of President, Mr. Speaker. Given the importance of today's joint sitting, we will at this time do a roll call to ensure that all members are present. Ms. Motley.
Present.
Ms. Bradshaw.
Present.
Mr. Marshall.
Present.
Mr. Simmons.
Present.
Dr. Duguid.
Present.
Ms. Husbands.
Present.
Mr. Abrams.
Present.
Mr. Weir.
Present.
Mr. Ford.
Present.
Mr. Griffith.
Present.
Mr. Jordan.
Present.
Mr. Humphrey.
Present.
Mr. Strawn.
Present.
Mr. Goodenedgel.
Present.
Ms. McConney.
Present.
Mr. Gibbs.
Present.
Mr. Lane.
Present.
Dr. Brown.
Present.
Ms. Cattle.
Present.
Ms. Moore.
Present.
Mr. Prescott. Mr. Prescott. Ms. Ford.
Present.
Mr. Springer. Mr. Ishmael.
Present.
Mr. Blackman.
Present.
His Honor Neil Rowe.
Present.
And Mr. Phillips.
Present.
Mr. Thorne.
Present.
Ms. Cummins.
Present.
The Most Honorable Mr.
Present.
Walker. Mr. Reed.
Present.
Ms. Monroe Knight.
Present.
Mr. King.
Present.
Ms. Paris.
Present.
Mr. Boyce.
Present.
Mr. Nichols.
Present.
Senator Morris.
Present.
Senator Trim. Senator Malalu. The Reverend Canon Dr. Rogers. Mr. Boyce.
Present.
Dr. Drakes. Mr. Nurse. Mr. Walters. And Mr. Worrell. Mr. Speaker, I not seeing the Senator Tate and have no indication from her whether she's coming or not. And Mr. Sutherland.
Present, Basil.
I shall now read the following. Section 32, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Barbados states that whenever the office of president is vacant, or if the term of office of the president is due to expire within not more than 90 days, the Prime Minister shall consult with the Leader of the Opposition with a view to their joint nomination of a candidate for the election as president. Section 32, subsection 2 of the Constitution of Barbados provides as follows. If the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition make in writing to the Speaker a joint nomination of a qualified candidate for election as president, being a nomination to which that candidate has consented, the Speaker shall notify both houses of the joint nomination, and at a joint meeting of both houses, the Speaker shall ask the members whether any member has an objection to the candidate being declared duly elected. And if no member objects thereto, the Speaker shall declare the candidate duly elected. The following letter was received by the Deputy Speaker, dated 16 September 2025. His Honor Neil Rowe, JP MP, Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly, Parliament of Barbados, Parliament Buildings, Trafalgar Street, Bridgetown. There, Mr. Deputy Speaker, Section 32, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Barbados provides for the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition to jointly nominate a person to be elected as President of Barbados. I have the honor to inform you that Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honourable Jeffrey Davison Bostic, FB, MVO, has assented to the proposal to be nominated as President and Head of State of Barbados by myself as Prime Minister and by the Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable Ralph Thorne, KC MP. I therefore officially advise you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, of the joint nomination of Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honourable Jeffrey Davison Bostic, FB, MVO, by the Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition in accordance with Section 32, subsection 1 and subsection 2 of the Constitution of Barbados, signed by the Prime Minister of Barbados and Leader of the Opposition. The Speaker informs the Honourable the House of Assembly of this joint nomination by letter dated and addressed to His Honour Senator the Most Honourable Reginald Farley, FB, the President of the Senate. The following letter was sent. Dated September 16, 2025. His Honour Senator the Most Honourable Reginald Farley, FB, JP, President of the Senate, Parliament of Barbados, Parliament Buildings, Trafalgar Street, Bridgetown. There, Mr. President, I have the honor to inform the Honourable Senate that the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition have, in accordance with Section 32, subsection 2 of the Constitution of Barbados, jointly nominated Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honourable Jeffrey Davison Bostic, FB, MVO, for the election of the office of President of Barbados. I further have the honor to inform you that the election will take place at a joint meeting of both houses on the 7th of October, 2025 at 10 o'clock in the forenoon at the Parliament of Barbados, Parliament Buildings, Trafalgar Street in the parish of St. Michael. As the Honourable Senate is not meeting at this time, it will not be possible for the usual message to be sent to your chamber. Will you therefore bring the fact of that joint nomination to the attention of senators before that joint meeting and formally to the attention of the Honourable the Senate when next it meets? I have the honor to be yours faithfully, His Honour Neil Rowe, JP MP, Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly. Section 32, subsection 11. The Speaker shall cause adequate notice of the election of your President to be published in the Gazette, but the period of such notice shall not be more than 21 days following the date of such publication. Section 32, subsection 12. If on the date duly fixed for an election under this section, there is only one candidate, the Speaker shall, at a joint meeting of both houses, if there is no objection from any of the members, declare that candidate duly elected before putting the question to a vote. The following notice is gazetted. SI 2025 number 87, dated 17 September 2025. Constitution of Barbados, election of President notice 2025. The Deputy Speaker, in exercise of the powers conferred on him by Section 32, subsection 11 of the Constitution of Barbados, gives the following notice. 1. This notice may be cited as the election of President notice 2025. 2. The Honourable Miss Mia Amor Mortley, SC MP, Prime Minister, and Mr. Ralph Ayrton, KC MP, Leader of the Opposition, have jointly nominated Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honorable Jeffrey Davison Bostic, FB, MVO, for election to the office of President of Barbados. 3. The election will take place at a joint meeting of both houses on the 7th day of October 2025 at 10 o'clock in the forenoon at the Parliament of Barbados, Parliament Buildings, Trafalgar Street, in the parish of St. Michael. Dated, given by the Deputy Speaker this 16th day of September 2025. Signed, Neil Rowe, Deputy Speaker. Dear honorable members, it now falls for me to ask you whether any member has an objection to the candidate being declared duly elected. Are there any objections? If there is no objections, I read as follows. Instrument of election of president. To all to whom these presents shall come greetings. Whereas it is provided by Section 32, subsection 2, there being no objections, I therefore declare Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honorable Jeffrey Davison Bostic, FB, MVO, as the next President of Barbados. Instrument of election of president. To all to whom this present shall come greetings. Whereas it is provided by Section 32, subsection 2 of the Constitution of Barbados, that if the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition make in writing to the Speaker a joint nomination of a qualified candidate for election as President, being a nomination to which that candidate has consented, the Speaker shall notify both houses of the joint nomination, and at a joint meeting of both houses, the Speaker shall ask the members whether any member has an objection to the candidate being declared duly elected. And if no member objects thereto, the Speaker shall declare the candidate duly elected. And whereas the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition jointly nominated Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honorable Jeffrey Davison Bostic, FB, MVO, as the candidate for election to the office of President of Barbados. And whereas the Speaker notified both houses of the joint nomination and at a joint meeting of both houses held on the 7th day of October 2025 at the Parliament of Barbados, no member objected to the said Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honourable Jeffrey Davison Bostic, FB MVO, being declared duly elected. Now, therefore, I, Arthur Holder, Speaker of the House of Assembly of Barbados, in accordance with the provisions of Section 32, subsection 2 of the Constitution of Barbados, do hereby declare the said Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honourable Jeffrey Davison Bostic, FB, MVO, elected as the President of Barbados, signed by myself. Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Good morning, Your Honor, and colleagues, both of the lower house and the upper house. It is my distinct honor and privilege to speak on behalf of the opposition here and in the Senate, and to speak on behalf of the Democratic Labour Party. Contained within the Christian Bible is Ecclesiastes 3, and more particularly, Ecclesiastes 3:1. And we know that as a verse that captures the entire experience, human experience, of occasion and purpose. And I quote, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven." Verse 3, chapter 3, verse 8, speaks of one of those occasions, or two of those occasions, a time of war and a time of peace. We have come here today, Your Honor, to join in the formal election of a new president for this republic. Today, this House, this Senate, this country has the assurance from this opposition and from this Democratic Labour Party here and in the Senate that this is an occasion of peace and not war. We do know that by its very nature, the House of Assembly and the Senate are bodies that engage weekly in discursive conflict. Today is not that time. I listened very carefully to the prayer of our chaplain, and he said, and I quote, "This is a significant day." And to that I add, this is a day significant, and not only significant, but heavy in its significance. I come to this task, Your Honor, with the recent experience, very recent experience, just this morning, as I do every morning, I receive by the WhatsApp medium several messages of prayer from political associates, from well-wishers, and from friends. And I value every one of those messages. It gives me the kind of start to the day that every politician must have and needs to have in this life characterized by its turbulence. And one of those messages this morning ended, and I quote, "And may the peace that surpasses all human understanding be with you now and always. And I come to this task with the recognition that my voice will reach the ears of cynics, my voice will reach the ears of conspiracy theorists, but they too have their rights, they too have their voice, and hopefully something that we say here today, all of us, something that we say here today will convince even the cynics, even the conspiracy theorists, and more especially those who love their country, those who love this country, that this is a day heavy in its significance. This is a day of peace within this state. And on Sunday, I visited the Nazarene Church in Ruby. And there was a moment when he who conducted the service asked the congregation to join hands in the singing of a song, and I quote, "Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me." And I hope that everyone has come to this occasion today with that purpose, that this will be a day heavy in its significance, a day remarkable for its peace in this place of its characteristic conflict from week to week. And of course, that is a song inspired by the scriptures of Luke 2:14. We come today and we are pleased to join in this formal exercise that brings to this Republic of Barbados a new head of state. And there's no rancor, there's no bitterness, there's no war. We come in that spirit because we recognize that this is the highest political office in this country, and that the office must not be reduced to political rancor, political disrespect, political bitterness. We are talking about the highest political office in this country. We are talking about the head of state, and respect must flow from every one of us. And Your Honor, you have our guarantee that respect for this exercise flows from the Democratic Labour Party and from this leader of the opposition. And I use the word state, the head of state. Perhaps we do need to demystify the office briefly. The state is still a political entity. And those who have expectations that it is religious office, for which the qualifications are different, may not be disappointed, but they need to understand the realities of the state and what the state is about. It is a political entity, and the head of state is political office. The state, Your Honor, is a human community that has the right to exercise sovereign power within geographical confines. That is what the state is. And the government is a part of the state, except that the government is not the state. The government is subsumed within the state. And the head of state, or the head of government, permit my correction, sits in subordinacy to the head of state. So we come to an understanding that the head of state is elevated within this geographical area, within this human community, within this nation. All persons sit in subordinacy to that political figurehead. I know that the writers use the metaphor, the ship of state, and it is a metaphor which is interesting. Not so much that ships exist, but that ships navigate the ocean and several waters. Sometimes those waters are calm, sometimes those waters are tempestuous. And that is why the office of head of state becomes all important. That person must bring to the office a steady hand. That person must bring to the office stability. And above all, that person must bring to the office wisdom and a sense of justice. Still, I say the presidency is political office. But I hasten to clarify that it is not partisan office. And so, all of us agree, and all of us hopefully in this country agree, even the cynics and the conspiracy theorists agree that upon accession to this office, the holder recognizes the political nature of the office because his work is political. But he recognizes that the office is political and that it is not partisan. And that becomes the essence of the office, political but not partisan. And who can legislate that sense of integrity? No one can. But I want to say, Your Honor, that this side accepts the qualifications in our new president to hold that office. And it does not take courage to say that. We heard the chaplain say this morning that we must have the courage to do what is right. And we in this Democratic Labour Party come today with the conviction that we are doing what is right, that we are doing what is right in the interest of this country, that we are doing what is right in the interest of the future of this country, that we are doing what is right in the interest of order and stability that must attend the affairs of this country, and that the person who holds the office of head of state must remain stable, must have a sense of order, and must occupy that office with a sense of justice. That is our hope, and that is our prayer, that this and these qualities will characterize the holder of that office, that there will be wisdom and maturity, and that it will not be a challenge. And it is not that we love our parties less, but that we love our country more. And that this state of Barbados, will enjoy the kind of future for which we all hope. A future of order, a future of stability, a future of prosperity. And that is our hope, and that is our prayer. Long may the state of Barbados live. Long may the new president live. He has the best wishes of this opposition. He has the best wishes of this Democratic Labour Party. Your Honor, I'm obliged to you.
Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I take note that we are in a joint sitting of both houses of Parliament, and I therefore pay my respects to the Honourable President of the Senate, who, along with the senators of the upper chamber, have joined us today. Mr. President of the Senate and Mr. Speaker of the House, honourable members of the House of Assembly, honourable members of the Senate. I rise today with profound honor and solemn purpose in this august chamber to praise the members of both houses for the confirmation of Lieutenant Colonel the Most Honorable Jeffrey Davidson Bostic, FBMVO. As the second President of the Republic of Barbados for the next 4 years, the period commencing on our Day of Independence and our celebration of a Republic, November 30th of this year. I'd like at the outset to thank the Honourable Leader of the Opposition for his agreeing to allow the dignity of this office, this high office of state, to be preserved for the benefit of not just the state and the Republic of Barbados, but more importantly, for our citizens, for our young people, to send the very clear signal that Barbados comes first, and that irrespective of whatever may separate us in this country, there are matters upon which we can unite as Bajans. I thank him for his agreeing to this joint nomination, and I do not take it for granted. This nomination, therefore, has not simply been a procedural matter. It has been a momentous occasion that will shape the character and direction of our young republic. The office of President demands not only constitutional propriety, but moral authority, wisdom earned through service, and an unwavering commitment to our nation and its people, and as you heard, to display a non-partisan approach in all things. In Lieutenant Colonel Bostic, we have found all of these qualities in abundance. For more than 4 decades, Jeffrey Bostic has exemplified what it means to serve his country, Barbados, with distinction, with dignity, and with selfless dedication. From 1980 to 2006, he served in the Barbados Defense Force with exceptional merit, rising through the ranks from platoon commander to positions of the highest responsibility and trust. His military career was not merely distinguished by rank, but by the breadth and depth of his contributions to our national security and indeed our international standing. He commanded the Barbados Regiment. He served as Director of Operations and Training for the Regional Security System, demonstrating his capacity for strategic thinking at the regional level. As Defense Attaché to the United States for the Embassy of Barbados, an alternative representative to the Organization of American States, he represented our country on the world stage with intelligence, grace, and unwavering patriotism. Perhaps most tellingly, if we were to go back to the 1980s, when Sir Hugh Springer, the Right Excellent Sir Hugh Springer, National Hero of Barbados, occupied Government House as Governor General, as the representative of the Queen, there to respond to his every need as aide-de-camp was a young Barbados Defense Force captain by the name of Jeffrey Bostic. It is of note that he also served briefly before as ADC to the previous Governor General, Sir Dighton Ward. 4 decades later, this most honorable gentleman takes the chair that he once dutifully stood beside as the most trusted servant of the country's head of state and commander. He also served as equerry to the late Queen Elizabeth II during one of her visits to Barbados, a position that demanded not only professional competence, but impeccable character and judgment. And yet, Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, Lieutenant Colonel Bostic's qualifications extend far beyond military excellence. He is a man of formidable intellect and continuous learning. He holds a Bachelor of Arts with honors in Caribbean and Latin American Studies from the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill campus. He earned a postgraduate diploma in Advanced Continental Defense Studies from the prestigious Inter-American Defense College. He has studied at the National War College and the Industrial College of the Armed Forces in the United States, immersing himself in the complex strategic challenges facing the Americas. He has been trained in conflict resolution and multidisciplinary cooperation at the Lester Pearson Peacekeeping Center in Canada. He is proficient in Spanish, embodying the hemispheric perspective so essential for our nation's diplomacy. This is not merely a military officer, but a strategic thinker, a diplomat, and a bridge builder, equipped to traverse the complexities of our interconnected world. Following his retirement from the Defense Force, Lieutenant Colonel Bostic seamlessly transitioned to civilian leadership, demonstrating his versatility and continued commitment to national development. From 2010 to 2018, he led Patriot Security Services Limited and Guardsmen Barbados Limited, bringing military discipline and strategic thinking to the private sector while maintaining the safety and security of our citizens and institutions. And then, of course, he served as Member of Parliament for the city of Bridgetown. From that office, he was therefore in a position to assume, from 2018 to 2022, his position as Minister of Health and Wellness, and it would be, as we now know, one of the most challenging periods in our nation's history. The COVID-19 pandemic enveloped us. In our darkest hours, when the health and very lives of Barbadians hung in the balance, Jeffrey Bostic stood ready to serve once more. And his mantra, no retreat, no surrender, became our mantra. Interestingly enough, this is also the title of the book that he has subsequently penned. After his retirement from the cabinet, he served as a consultant for civil-military coordination with the Pan American Health Organization, helping to coordinate sub-regional responses. Honorable members, the presidency of our republic requires certain values. It requires someone who understands the weight of responsibility, who has proven their capacity for leadership under pressure, who commands respect across all sectors of our society, and indeed, who can serve as a unifying figure for all Barbadians. I am satisfied that this office must always be able to bring together all in this country for the benefit of the Republic. It requires the office someone who has an international perspective, for we do not live on this earth alone. It requires someone who can represent us with dignity and with authority outside of these shores. It requires someone who understands both the obligations of command and the necessity of service. It requires someone with moral authority that comes only from a lifetime of putting nation and community before self. I believe that Jeffrey Bostic possesses all of these qualities. His record speaks eloquently: multidisciplinary coordination, policy development and implementation, strategic planning, and proven leadership. He is described, even in his own words, as self-motivated, dedicated, people-oriented, as all of us know, with strong relationship-building skills and a proven track record for meeting deadlines and exceeding goals. But more importantly, those who have served alongside him testify to his integrity, his wisdom, and his deep love of his country. I note the comments from all quarters of this country upon the notice that there had been a joint nomination for him to be placed before this Honourable Parliament. And those words coming from every quarter of this country speaks volumes. As we continue to build our republic, we need a president, as I've said, who embodies both continuity and progress. Someone rooted in our best traditions while open to our evolving future. Lieutenant Colonel Bostic's career has been a testament to bridge building between military and civilian leadership, between national and regional security, between Barbados and the wider world, between different generations of Bajans who have all benefited from his service. Whether sitting on the steps in Chapman's in Emerton Lane, or whether sitting in the Parliament, or whether sitting in the previous role that he had at State House, Government House, or in the Barbados Defence Force headquarters. At 64 years of age, he brings maturity and experience, but yet, if you know him, he retains the energy and the vision necessary for the responsibilities ahead. His decorations, the designation of Freedom of Barbados, and the member of the Royal Victorian Order reflect recognition of his exceptional service at the highest levels. Honourable members, there are moments in the life of a nation when the right person emerges at precisely the right time. This is such a moment, and Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Davidson Bostic is such a person. Our republic is young, but our aspirations are ancient and our determination is unshakable. We seek to build a nation that honors its past while confidently facing its future, that stands proud among the community of nations and while remaining true to its values, that protects the dignity and welfare of all its citizens while contributing to regional and global peace and prosperity. To lead such a nation, even in the ceremonial but symbolically vital role of president, we need someone of proven character, demonstrated competence, and unquestioned commitment. We need someone whose very biography embodies the story of modern Barbados. From, shall I say, up and on, the Commonwealth
Of course,
School.
Prime Minister, of course. Of course, Prime
I
Minister.
know that you would have intervened at that point, sir. But may I say that up and on once was next to the one that I also claim as my own, and therefore we have similar origins. He moved from Commonwealth School to the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst, from the jungles of Panama to the halls of the Organization of American States, from the parade grounds of St. Anne's Fort to the Ministry of Health during a pandemic, and with the unique ability to call upon his previous colleagues to assist him in lifting the heavy weight, for as I always say, many hands make light work. But Mr. Speaker and Mr. President, from the narrow streets of Chapman Lane to the gravitas of State House, Jeffrey Davidson Bostic's journey is the embodiment of our Republic's promise. We chose the Republic so that any little boy and any little girl can aspire, and can believe that they too can go, that they know that the measure of their future is not their address, but their attitude. That with discipline and decency and an unshakable love of country, one can rise from the heart of the city of Bridgetown into the hearts of Barbadians, climbing step by honest step on merit and in service. His story is not one of favor, but of sweat and sacrifice. A son of the city who laced his own boots and pulled them, who answered the call at home and abroad, who chose duty over comfort and community over self. This is the Barbados we believe in. This is the Barbados that he embodies. And this is the hope we place in the hands of each and every child who dares to dream and who will be determined to do. To the young men of this country, I say to you, let Jeffrey Bostic be your compass. He walked through every door that Barbados opened, and he turned every opportunity into duty. He did not walk alone. He lifted others as he climbed, knowing that to whom much is given, much is expected. Your life, my friends, will be what you put into it. We know that. And nothing is beyond any of us. Nothing is beyond you as young people in this country. If you work, if you learn, if you serve, and if you stand with your family and community, your government will keep opening doors, and we will hold you to the standard that he has set. And let me use this moment to say that in the fight to save our young men, there will be no retreat and no surrender. Therefore, Mr. President of the Senate and Mr. Speaker of the House, honorable members of both chambers, I am placing on record my wholehearted endorsement of Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Davidson Bostic, FB MVO, as the second President of the Republic of Barbados. In doing so, we do not simply fill an office. We make a statement about who we are and who we aspire to be as a nation, what we value and what we are prepared to stand by. We affirm that service matters. We affirm that character matters. We affirm that experience, wisdom, and integrity matter. We affirm that in times of both challenge and opportunity, Barbados can call upon its citizens of the highest caliber who will answer that call with humility and determination. Lieutenant Colonel Bostic has served his nation in times of peace and in times of crisis, in uniform and in civilian dress, at home and abroad, in youth and in maturity. He has earned the trust of his fellow citizens and the respect of the international community. He has demonstrated time and again his capacity for leadership, his commitment to excellence, and his love for Barbados. I therefore can think of no one better suited to stand as the embodiment of our republic, to represent all Barbadians with dignity and grace, with courage and compassion, and to help guide our young nation and our young people through the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead. Mr. President of the Senate and Mr. Speaker of the House, it would be gravely remiss of me were I to resume my seat without paying tribute to the extraordinary legacy of service rendered by Her Excellency, Dame the Most Honourable Sandra Prunella Mason. I thank you for your applause at that point, but I have now to say freedom of Barbados. She was our nation's last Governor General and inaugural President. She too stood as an example to our young girls as to what is possible with determination and grit, with grace and compassion. The grace, dignity, and distinction with which she discharged her office, the solemn duties of head of state, shall be indelibly inscribed in the chronicles of our history. We extend our profound gratitude for the elegance, propriety, and noble bearing she brought to the office of president. We are deeply indebted to her family for their generosity in sharing her talents with the nation. Our first president shall forever occupy a place of honor and affection in our collective memory. I say simply to you, Mr. Speaker and Mr. President, may God bless Dame Sandra as she goes towards her retirement. And may God bless the President-elect of Barbados, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Davidson Bostic, the Most Honourable, a man for this moment, a man for this nation, a man to inspire all young Barbadians that anything is possible. May God continue to bless our beloved nation, and may we who sit in this parliament forever remember that there are moments in the nation's life where it is required of us to stand tall and to accept the responsibility of being guardians, strict guardians of our faith, and to ensure that equally we can shape the destiny in the way in which we have been the beneficiaries of the sacrifice of so many generations of Barbadians long before this parliament became their natural place of aspiration. And I say so conscious that this is the 75th year that we celebrate the right to universal adult suffrage, without which our democracy, our parliamentary proceedings as an independent nation, our independent country would not be possible. I therefore thank not just the Leader of the Opposition as I take my seat, but I thank every member of this elected parliament and every member of the upper house for affording this country the distinction of being able to celebrate this process with dignity. I thank you.
Before we adjourn these honorable chambers, I wish to acknowledge the presence of parliamentarians from Canada, parliamentarians from Gibraltar, the Honourable Speaker of the House of Assembly of St. Lucia, Claudius Francis, the Honourable Speaker from Dominica, Joseph Isaac, the Clerk of the Parliament of St. Lucia, who are here, all here attending the 60th CPC being hosted by the branch of Barbados. Honourable Leader of Government Business.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. President, honourable members of this joint sitting, I therefore beg to move the suspension of this sitting, a very historic day indeed, and I do wish all members a pleasant day.
Honourable, how much you are suspended until what time? Or you wish to suspend?
I'd like to move the suspension until 11:30.
The question is that this honourable chamber will be suspended until 11:30 a.m. All those honourable members in favour, please say aye. Those against, please say no. We think the ayes have it. This honourable chamber stands suspended until 11:30 a.m.